Boom, boom, bam. Welcome back to another episode of the Great Debate Show. I'm your host, JJ, and I got something to say. As always, I have something to say weekdays, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Be there or be square. I'm here to give you all of the developing stories, latest storylines, and content here on sports from NBA to NFL, UFC, wrestling, WWE, all that good stuff. We do the post show of Monday Night Raw. After the show ends on Netflix each and every Monday night, and we do WWE Friday Night SmackDown post show immediately following SmackDown. We've also been coming in here with live reactions, live instant reactions right after these NBA Finals games. And weekdays, though, I find something to talk about. It's plenty to talk about, especially today after the big Father's Day Blockbuster trade that we had yesterday, if you want to call it that, Blockbuster trade or not. I'm going to explain to you if I think it was or not. But it was a big trade for my Memphis Grizzlies, and they traded Desmond Bane away. I'm going to talk about that. Was it good for Memphis? Was it good for Orlando? Was it good for both or neither? I'll discuss it. And we've got Game 5 of the NBA Finals tonight. OKC back at home, hosting the Indiana Pacers tonight. Who's going to win this pivotal Game 5? The winner of this series usually wins the series, the NBA championship, damn near 10 times out of 10. But at least 9 times out of 10, right? Also, Caitlin Clark is back and better than ever, baby. Just like I say with the Great Debate Show. Up in this biatch, she went the fuck off on Saturday. Had a great return as she played her first game back since in over 2 weeks with the hamstring strain that she had. But she came out like she had never missed a game. Like she never left. 32 points. Damn near another triple-double. And she and her Indiana Fever were the first to knock off the undefeated New York Liberty. They had that win over there on Saturday. A great weekend for the women in WNBA. Angel Reese also had a great weekend. Had a triple-double as Chicago Sky, who was not a really good team. They got a good win Saturday. So a good weekend for both women. And women basketball is back on the map because Caitlin Clark is back, and the ratings just skyrocket as soon as she returns. So congrats to her on a great game. And you know, you thought it was probably going to take some time maybe for her to get back in it, you know, get her feet wet, get her legs back underneath her. Missing 2 weeks of basketball is no joke. 2 weeks is still over 2 weeks. But she didn't miss a beat. And so just wanted to just talk about that. She's impressive. She's amazing. And that's why she has so many haters. I think there's too much negativity still that goes toward the other female, the other woman, that hates, that kind of hates on Caitlin Clark, along with a lot of other women in the league, and that's Angel Reese. I think people could be a little too hard on her, though, as far as with their gangster, disrespectful fingers on the internet. But she had a great weekend as well. Triple-double, it's her first, so let's give her, a shout out, too. Anyway, but I don't talk about women's basketball, really. I just like to pay homage and give them their props because this game, thanks to these ladies, especially Caitlin, is talked about and watched more than it ever has in my life since the WWE has existed. So again, welcome back, Caitlin Clark, old CC. She snapped out and did her thing because she's a bad woman. Okay, I want to say hello to Gil. Gil to Will says, yo, hey, how you doing, man, on YouTube? The Great Debate Show is available wherever you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, all of that good stuff. And I'm also streaming live weekdays, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, TikTok and YouTube. That's where you can find me on the live shows. I need another device or two because I'm about to start going live on Instagram and X, formerly known as Twitter, a lot more too. I've been told that I'm missing out on that. So I need to get those people out there too, more audience and get this thing bigger. I want to thank everybody that does follow me each and every day here. Weekdays, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, with me on TikTok and YouTube. You could have been anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with me. And so I just want you to know I really, really appreciate it. I want to speak to everybody on TikTok right now. Anthony is in the building. Glenn is in the building. Radio C. What's up to everybody? What's up to B. Fisher, who says what's up? How you doing, brother? Hope y'all had a great Father's Day. Shout out to Shane. Everybody that's in here, thank you for joining me. So, I'm going to talk about Game 5 in the finals tonight in a minute. But first, let's talk about this blockbuster trade that everybody's talking about. I had to rep the hat today because my Memphis Grizzlies, I'm waking up, oh man, what's the day gonna bring? I got a Father's Day breakfast, Father's Day dinner, or am I cooking out? Am I going to such and such house, cousins, aunts, uncles, family, friends, all of that good stuff. And before I even decide what I'm gonna do for my day, Father's Day, this breaking news comes up. The Memphis Grizzlies trade Desmond Bane to Orlando. I'm like, what? For real? Now again, Desmond Bane is a good player, very solid, averaging 20. I don't know the rest of the numbers, but he averages 20, right? And his field goal percentage is 41% from the three, which is still pretty damn good. If you can get anything over 35, 36, if you shoot over 40% from beyond the arc, you're doing pretty good, right? So he's a good addition for the Magic. But before first-round picks that Orlando gave up, I couldn't help but smile. I was smiling from ear to ear when I saw it, and I had to look again because I got it first on my Bleacher Report, and then I looked at the ESPN report, and I'm like, this is real. They're both saying the same thing. They gave us 4 unprotected first-round picks and a 1-pick swap in 2029. And all they got was Desmond Bane, while we got the 4 first-round picks, the 1-pick swap in 2029, Cole Anthony, and KCP. Now, the only thing I'm hearing is bad about this trade is that KCP's contract is kind of terrible, and I don't know how bad it is, but Orlando definitely got off of it because he didn't have the best year with them. But I've seen KCP in recent years. He's helped the Nuggets win a championship in 23. He helped the Lakers win a championship in 2020. They say he's not quite that same KCP, and on defense, he became a liability. That's usually not him. And some people say that it's because of age, and some people think it's just the fit. He wasn't a good fit in Orlando, so they moved off of it, and now we're stuck with that contract. But since they got rid of Bane, who has a big contract for some years to come, I guess they called it an even swap. Getting Cole Anthony and KCP, I think, helps the backcourt, a little bit more depth. Scottie Pippen Jr. still there. He wasn't in the trade. Jalen Wells Jr., he wasn't in the trade. These were our rookies who gave us way more minutes than most rookies do on other teams, and they won't be right behind the ears next year. So a lot of people said, well, okay, so Orlando made a bad move with the trade. I'm going to tell you why it's a good trade for both teams. For Orlando, they needed somebody like Desmond Bane because they really struggled scoring. I did my research yesterday evening, and they struggle scoring, and so them adding a player like Desmond Bane who can score 20 off the bench, it's actually a good addition for them. With Franz Wagner and they're about to pay, what's his name, Bonchero, and there's the other one, Jalen Suggs. Those guys are all right, but in order for the Magic to realize if it's time to give these guys the big contract or not, they don't know until they see maybe like 1 more or 2 more players that can help out in the backcourt. Them not being the, getting all the attention and the number 1 priority on the team. So I think from what I'm seeing, it's good for Orlando. They gave up more, but I'm told that there were several other teams that were trying to get Desmond Bane, and Orlando gave up 4 unprotected first-round picks because they were trying to win the Desmond Bane sweepstakes. And the Grizzlies, doing what any smart franchise would do, they took the highest bidder. So from what the reports say, the Magic offered more, and we took it. And I don't blame them for trading away Bane because Bane's cool, but, I could take it or leave him, in my opinion. Me and my daughter went to a lot of Grizzlies games this past year, and we would have our moments where we were like, okay, Bane is finally showing up. He's knocking that 3 down more consistently. And then he'd disappear again, and he'd be inconsistent with his shot. Again, great addition for the Magic. They gave up a little bit too much. However, that's what they had to do. It's Orlando. The Grizzlies will have to give all these picks away too if they want to roll the dice and go try to get a big star, which is what I think that they're going to do, which is why this is a good trade for us also. Reason being, why is everybody saying in the media that the Grizzlies are probably about to rebuild and they're going to trade Ja Morant and they're going to trade Jaren Jackson Jr.? I don't think that they're going to trade either one of them, especially Jaren Jackson Jr., because Triple J is probably no, it's not probably, and I know this is not a popular statement, what I'm going to say here in Memphis, but he is the best player on our team all around. He's been a defensive player of the year. He gets you 100 threes. He gets you 100 blocks. This is what he does. Is he the best post player? No, he's not, but he still can score near the bucket. He just doesn't do it with his back turned to the bucket. But I think he's good, and he's the. Do I want to see him a little better? Yeah, of course, but he can shoot outside. He can score inside. He will play defense. He will get blocks. And if anybody right now that needs a big, like the Lakers or whoever, they would kill. They would give up whatever it took damn near to go get Triple J. And that's why I think everybody's in the media trying to assume that this Desmond Bane trade is a sign that we're going to trade away Triple J and Ja, and Memphis is saying they're not going to do that. And I've been saying for months now that the general manager came out and said that these teams, these general managers are just fantasy booking. They're wishing maybe that we'll trade Ja so they can have him on their roster, but we're not trading Ja. They're committed to him and they're comfortable with their situation with him now. It's just a matter of him staying healthy, playing more games. Remember, he couldn't even make all NBA, which is the reason why he and Triple J's Supermax deal may not happen. But getting Bane off the books is going to be able to help the Grizzlies pay Triple J and Ja when it comes down to their extensions that they are due for this summer. They just won't be Supermaxes. So I think that whatever number the Grizzlies want to give those two gentlemen, they're going to give it to them. But it doesn't have to be an extreme number like Brock Purdy wanted $65 million per year, they say. The 49ers drew the line in the sand and said, all right, bro, stop tripping. We're going to give your ass 53, and that's that. Take it or leave it. Nobody else would even give you 50. And so if that's true, then I guess we still kind of won, even though I still think he's overpaid. But I do like Purdy. I just know he's still limited. But that's neither here nor there. I think that's the same thing going on with the Grizzlies. They want to pay and extend Triple J and Ja, but I don't think they want to give them super max deals because they're close to that, but not quite. I think, fuck all the rebuild stuff. I don't even know if it's a reset. How are we not to believe that the 49ers, why am I saying the 49ers? How am I not to believe that my other team, how am I not to believe that the Grizzlies are not going to use these 5 picks that they have, 4 first round unprotected, 1 is a pick swap. Those 4 picks and those 2 players that they added, how are we not to think that they're not planning on using those to move off of it and go get a Giannis Antetokounmpo to pair with Triple J and Ja, or, which makes a little bit more sense probably, to go get a KD to play in the backcourt with Ja and Triple J. I think that they could be putting all of this in for a big one. That they just needed this trade bait, for a bigger fish, to go get a bigger fish. And I won't be surprised if they throw it back in and they're trying to get a bigger whale, versus Desmond Bane, who was just a kind of a big fish in a small pond. So again, Bane, I appreciate everything that he did for the Grizzlies. He earned his contract, but it seemed like the Grizzlies thought that they could move off of him and they could do better. I don't think that they're thinking they can do better by busting the whole thing up. I think they want to give Ja one more chance to see how can he win with other players. And with 4 first-round picks and KCP, with that big crazy contract he has, if they can find a sucker to take that as well, I think they dump all of that back off to Milwaukee or to Phoenix or somewhere to get one more big fish. And I don't know who that would be, but I wouldn't be surprised. And if they don't make a trade, because Giannis probably is not going anywhere, then they'll just sit on this and they'll be comfortable with the depth that they have. And Ja and Triple J is still a big 2. And it's up to Aldama and Jalen Wells Jr. and Scottie Pippen Jr., KCP, Cole Anthony to make up for that one guy that they're missing in Desmond Bane, which I don't think is hard to do because, again, at times, Bane was inconsistent. So I'm not tripping with the trade. I think it's fine, and I'm happy with it. But I do think it's going to benefit both teams. Looking at Orlando, and I'm going to get off this subject. Looking at Orlando, they see Boston is not going to be too good next year. No Jason Tatum. We don't know what they're going to do with Drew Holiday, Porzingis. What if Jaylen Brown even still gets moved? They're looking at the Indiana Pacers, who are in the NBA Finals, and no one expected them to get past the semifinal round. Or the Magic think that they could be the Pacers next year, probably. They're going to take a shot at it at least. I don't mind them taking a swing at it. I think they took a real rough, crazy swing, and they missed. But this still helps them offensively. Now you got Suggs, Banchero, Desmond Bane, and Wagner. That's not bad. I'm not saying it's a big four, but it's if you were playing spades, I think the Magic have like 2 books and 2 possibles, and I think that's is with the Orlando Magic. If you understand the spade analogy that I used, it's a great move for both, but I wouldn't call it a blockbuster trade. The Grizzlies may be fine with this roster just the way it is, but I think they done this to get a bigger fish. Same thing the Knicks did with Karl Anthony Towns. They're still trying to get rid of him for Giannis. I mean, yes, for Giannis. We know that because they said that they were not trying to pursue Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant wanted to go to New York. He would have put them on the list. They're not on the list now because the Knicks don't want him. That tells me they want Giannis. And if they want Giannis, they're going to move Cat for Giannis. But Giannis don't want to go anywhere right now. So we'll see how that works out. Okay, y'all, bear with me. I got a little sick yesterday. Wasn't my best day, but I do feel a lot better. So try to get through this show. All right, so I just wanted to talk about that trade. I think the Grizzlies and the Magic kind of won that trade. I think not only was it a good trade for us, but I think the Grizzlies are going to really win that trade in the foreseeable future because they still can use these picks at any given time. It depends on who they're calling and who's listening. What if Jaylen Brown got traded to Memphis? Would the Celtics consider busting this whole thing up? Because I think they should. Why not reset it? You've got a year to figure out how to bust it up, rebuild it, reset it or whatever. So when Tatum comes back fully healthy in the 26-27 season, it'll almost be like he never left anything, like he never left a bad situation. So I would say trade Jaylen Brown to us. He's younger than Kevin Durant. I don't think he's opposed to coming to Memphis like KD would probably be. These players don't come to Memphis when we have these games. I'm there and I'm watching. I'm like, hey, watch he not show up. Watch that player not show up. LeBron didn't used to show up to Memphis before he became a Laker. He only had to come once, and he never came when he was in Cleveland, in Miami. So, yeah, I'm just saying these stars try to keep from coming to Memphis as much as they can. So they definitely don't want to come and that be their team. Jimmy Butler said anywhere but Memphis. But with 4 first-round picks, some of these players just gonna have to just nut up and shut the fuck up because there's no telling where they could get traded. The Suns are gonna trade KD to wherever they please, whatever is best for them. They don't care if he prefers the Heat, the Spurs, or the Rockets. They'll trade him to wherever they get the best offer, just like we did yesterday. So where is Kevin Durant going to go? He said the Heat, Spurs, or Rockets is where he would prefer. The Knicks is not on that list anymore because the Knicks said we straight. They got other things to tend to, like a head coaching search. I'll talk about them too a little later. They've got a head coaching search where they finally get some interviews with Mike Brown, former coach of the Cavs, Kings, and all that. He's interviewing, and also Taylor Jenkins, our former Memphis Grizzlies former head coach. So finally, the Knicks are going to look at people who are available versus head coaches who aren't available. Now to KD, this trade we thought was going to happen before what we just saw happen yesterday. We didn't know anything about Desmond Bane to Orlando, and they were going to give us KCP, Cole Anthony, and 4 unprotected first-round picks. We didn't know about any of that. And I'm going to read y'all comments here in a minute, man. Thank y'all for joining me. Hey, how y'all doing? I'll see y'all talking. Just give me 1 second. I want to say that Kevin Durant may end up going to a team that nobody expects him to go to because the Suns are going to do what's best for the Suns. And you can't blame them for that. They gave up a lot of shit to get him from Brooklyn. So they know they won't get the same haul that they got when they gave up KD. They want to get back as much of that ROI as they can. So in order to do that, watch out for the Toronto Raptors, ladies and gentlemen. That's a team who is desperate. Way more desperate than the Rockets. Way more desperate than the Heat and the Spurs. Even though the Heat and the Spurs aren't playoff teams, well, the Heat were, the Spurs weren't. But the Rockets, they're just a player like KD away from being a championship contender. However, they still are not that desperate. They probably was on the phone trying to get Desmond Bane too. You know what I'm saying? So they're not as desperate. The Raptors don't have a lot. They're trying to use their number 9 draft pick and some of their players and go all out for a Giannis Antetokounmpo, who would probably consider Toronto over a lot of other teams that want him because he could stay in the Eastern Conference. They also could go for Kevin Durant, which I'm hearing. And if they go for Kevin Durant, watch out. Because, I mean, it may not be good for Durant, I don't even know how much sense it makes for Toronto, unless they've got other tricks up their sleeves and they're trying to put together a big two, a big three, or something like that. But we know they're capable of doing it. They brought in Kawhi and they won a championship. I don't remember what all they gave up, but they brought him in and they got a championship immediately. Watch out for the Raptors. That's a team that the Suns don't give a damn where they send KD to, just as long as they get the best deal out of it themselves. They're not there to appease Kevin Durant, which is the reason why I didn't know what the trade going to happen or not. But I hear it's coming close, but let's see. Where do you all think he's going to go? I think the Spurs is a good team, a good fit, but I think the Rockets is the best fit. I like the Heat too, but I think the Rockets is the best fit. KD playing with Bam, that sounds good, but would Bam be a Miami Heat in order for them to land KD? I don't know who Miami would have to give up, but I wouldn't be trying to give up Bam Adebayo. I love Bam Adebayo. I wish we had him. But yeah, where does KD land? Some say the Spurs. Some say, oh, the Clippers are also in it. But again, he's got his three teams, but it doesn't mean like he's going to go to either of those three teams. Where do you think Kevin Durant is going to go, and when do you think it's going to happen? Because we need to get on to it. Okay, let me catch up with some of these comments here. I want to thank y'all for joining me. Hit the like button and follow me, please, on TikTok. Subscribe to me on YouTube and hit the thumbs up button. Can we get the likes up? Drop a comment, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. All of that helps me out with the algorithm. So where you can find the Great Debate Show a lot easier, because we're really hard to find because we at the bottom and we trying to come up. And that's just it. I know y'all tired of hearing me say that, but I have new people coming in all the time, and some people just watch, and I need you to watch and click. So, let's see here. Maddox said the Celtics still would be good, and they saving Tatum might come back a lot sooner. Oh, they're saying Tatum may come back a lot sooner. Okay. Maddox also says Brown, Holiday, and Hauser for Giannis. Ooh. See, Celtics and Laker fans are just so greedy. Y'all are so greedy and spoiled. What you want Giannis for? You just won a championship last year. You don't need Giannis. Doesn't Tatum play the same position as Giannis? I don't know about that. I hear you, but would Giannis even want to come to Boston? I wouldn't. I think he wants to be in New York, but now it didn't seem like he want to go anywhere. But we got the first four. We got 4 unprotected first-round picks. I know he don't want to come to the West, but I promise you, I bet you the Grizzlies are making calls. They ain't make this trade for nothing. I don't think so. They didn't make it for nothing. So anyway, good comment though, man. I hear you, Maddox. I hear you. South Boy 315 in the building. He says it's not what you're worth, it's what someone is willing to pay you. That is 100% facts, South Boy. That is correct. Can you put Bane scored more points than Pope? Yeah, I said it's a good move for them. I think it is a very good move for them. 20 a game. They didn't get that from KCP. Basketball trades are so much more different than football trades. They are. Go Raiders and Grizzlies says 14. All right. Raiders. Okay. Go Niners. What's up, Jackson? Bang, bang, brother. Bang, bang. Okay. So, yeah, trying to catch up on something. Do you like Dre Greenlaw? Yes, I do. I love Greenlaw, but I think we got the most out of him. The injuries are starting to play a part now. What's up, B. Fisher? Okay. Now, let me see if I got a few more I need to read that I missed. Wow, that man said he wants Giannis in Boston. Pacers got a lucky season. Thunder going to win in 7. I wouldn't say it's luck now. I wouldn't say it's luck. I wouldn't say it's luck, D. Rowan says Graham is weird. Who is Graham? Julian, what's up? Even, Niners all day. Can't wait for the season. Same here, bro. Jackson, Hayden, bang, bang, Niner gang all day, baby. All right. Will says Memphis getting KD. Now, see, Will is a smart man. I don't think we're really going to get him, but I think we will be aggressively trying to. And that may be what's slowing the trade down with KD right now because of what happened yesterday. And now the Suns are sitting back saying, shit. The Grizzlies was able to get 4 first-round picks. I gave up 5 to grab KD out of Brooklyn. I got to get half of that back at least. Nah, fuck that. I know what I said about them diamonds. Ain't that what, what's his name said on All About the Benjamins, Ice Cube? But when you get him in your hand, it's a little bit different. So I think that whatever they were about to trade KD for, that value might have went up just a little bit more, even though it had went down significantly, they said. I think, what's his name, Ishba or whatever over there in Phoenix is saying, man, look, I got to get something. And they may be on the phone with Memphis right now. So I like that comment from Will. I would love to have KD here. It's exactly what we need. Thibodeau as our head coach wouldn't be bad either. But we already made the interim head coach the head coach. So we'll see. But yeah, I like that. I don't think it'll happen, but it would be nice. We've never had a huge free agent come to Memphis. Never. There were rumors that we would get Kobe back in the day, but he didn't leave LA. There were rumors that we probably would have gotten Chris Paul some years back before he went to the Clippers, but we never got a superstar. Nobody wants to come to Memphis. And they've said some horrible things about Memphis too, so they don't want to be here. And KD doesn't either. The one thing I like about Phoenix is they've let it be known we're going to do what's best for us, not him. So there's a chance that it could happen. But then we may have to deal with him just wanting to come for a one-year deal. Do these teams want to only trade for him if he wants to sign an extension, or are they willing to give up something for just a one-year rental and then see how it goes? If we try to trade for him, KD going to be like, I ain't signing no extension with no Memphis Grizzlies. I know that's what he's going to say. But he still will be stuck with us for 1 year. The question will be, what will we give up for 1 year? That will be the question. Shout out to Bam in the building, says KD doesn't want to be in Memphis. That's what I just said. I know. Too old and stays hurt all the time. I agree with that too. He says Memphis don't need KD. I beg to differ. We could use him now. We could use him. But what we really could use is more defenders on the perimeter. And I don't know who is available for that outside of Jaylen Brown, but I don't think that they're going to move him. But I would much rather have Jaylen Brown than I would Kevin Durant. But I don't know what Boston is trying to do, though, right now. I don't know. Chandler Parsons has scared us for life. We sure did get him once, didn't we? I remember that. Bam, where you at, man? Where you watching me from? I forgot all about Chandler Parsons. Jay Uso says, do you like WWE? Yeah, sometimes. But I'm still watching it for now. Jackson, gotcha, bruh. Jacktown, you basically are here then. That's what's up, Bam. I'm glad I popped up in your algorithm, and I hope you follow me, and I hope you like the video and can tune in with me, man. You could have been anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with me right now, so I really appreciate it. Jacktown in the building. That's baby Memphis right there. But yeah, man, you're right. You're right. We don't necessarily need KD, but I would take him. But I would much rather have, what's his name? All right, TikTok. Let me get to YouTube for a minute here because I got to talk about Game 5 tonight. My YouTube cuzzo's in the building. What's up, Donnie? In the building. Alfredo is in the building. He said, is KD going to the Spurs? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. But I would like him to go to the Spurs. That would be less, that looks less ring chasing. It doesn't look like he's ring chasing as much if he does that. Thank you for hitting the likes. Can I get some more likes, please? Over there on YouTube. Some more here on TikTok. Get some more followers on TikTok. I appreciate it. Jesus Crust in the building says we can't put the ladder away. Pickle Jr. says, I don't know what the hell y'all talking about when y'all say that, man. Donnie Jackson says, Cuzzo. Donnie, tell me what the hell Pickle Jr. talking about. And everybody else is asking me that question on TikTok. I don't get it. Y'all know I'm slow. Yo, man, bad trade for Grizz, good for Magic. Explain. Donnie says, trade Ja, move Pippen Jr. to point guard. I'm not opposed to that, but that's something that I was wanting to talk about is Jaren Jackson Jr. is overall our best player. However, you know ownership ain't trying to trade Ja when he's the superstar. He's most exciting. He's the best finisher in the league, probably at the rim. He's gotten better with his three-point shot. It could be better, and I wish he would focus on mid-range more like SGA. I wish he was what SGA already is, but he's not. That is the reason why what you're saying isn't crazy, but I don't see Memphis trading Ja. They said they're not going to trade him, and I kind of believe it because they've been saying it for a minute. You lose a lot of ticket sales, you know? I mean, like, besides Ja, nobody cares about the Grizzlies. So that's why I don't see him getting traded, but I hear what you're saying. From a basketball standpoint, you could move Scottie Pippen to. This is the reason why Taylor Jenkins had the offense looking more efficient. But Ja didn't like it because he took the ball out of his hands more, and that's why I think dude got fired. But I hear what you're saying. Trade Ja, move Pippen to point guard, but what do we do? What are we getting for Ja? And who are we trading him to? Scottie Pippen Jr. is the point guard, and then what? Grizz should go after Westbrook. I think he's going to re-sign with the Nuggets. I don't mind having him come off the bench, though, but I think he's going back to Denver. It said that he wasn't, but now yesterday a report came out that they're in discussions right now to re-up and do it again, run it back. Donnie also said honey and moonshine and lemon tea. Yeah. Can you hear it? Can you hear it in my voice? Yeah, I need me a nice hottie toddy, man. What would be a good center for the Lakers? Shit. I mean, if we were trading Triple J, it would be him. Even though he's really not a 5, he's more of a 4. But JJ Redick will play him at the 5. The Lakers don't care about having a 5, remember? They'll make him do all the dirty work like AD was doing. But if he tells the Lakers they need a 5, they're going to ship his ass somewhere else. And his flight going to be at 5. Just like they did at Anthony Davis. But, yeah, that's a big right there. I think they still could go for that dude from the Hornets. I think. But they're going to try. They're going to get that big. I just don't know who it would be and how good that big would be. Bub in the building says, yo, what's up, Bub? Just wanted to pop in and say hi. I appreciate you, brother. CJ said, yo, I'm back. GDS. What's up, man? Thank you for coming back. And y'all hit that like button while y'all in here, please. Thank you. All right. KD is going to Philly, says Johnny on TikTok. We forget about Philly when we're talking about the offseason and what teams need to do or not do. And Embiid missing the entire season pretty much just kind of, I don't know, we just kind of forgot about them. But, yeah, they do still have Paul George in the backcourt. They've got Joel Embiid. They've got Tyrese Maxey. If you could add Kevin Durant, shit, we'd be talking about the Sixers possibly doing what the Knicks and the Pacers did this year. They could go that deep, if not the finals. But, again, it's so much to question. Will Embiid be healthy? Will Paul George be healthy? They missed so much time. And it just seems like Maxey should be the one who's getting the hell out of Philly. But I'm not opposed to that. KD going to Philly. That's a new one. That's a different one. I wish he'd go to the Pistons. Nobody's talking about the Detroit Pistons. I don't know why the Detroit Pistons are not calling. It would be a great fit for the Pistons. Man, I think it would be really good. JaVale McGee. Lakers should sign him. Damn, McGee still in the league, man? Says Cool Miniati. Cool Illuminati. Anvil joined me too. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Okay, let's get to the finals, man. I think I've said enough about the trades and the blockbuster trades in Memphis. I thank y'all for talking about my Grizzlies. A lot of times I don't know if people even want to hear me speak on my team. But something happened yesterday, so it needed to be talked about, no doubt. CJ said, what do you think chances are the Pacers win the series? They've got a good chance. And if they win tonight, they got an even better chance. I'm going to tell you who I got winning in a minute. He said, I'm going fishing in a bit. I'm going to stay until I do. Okay. All right. Thank you, man. Fishing. I heard that. Okay. Here we go. NBA Finals tonight, Game 5. OKC, Indiana Pacers. We're back in OKC now. Who wins this game? Well, Indiana has not lost consecutive games in over 3 months. So one would believe that could continue, right? But Dunlap joins me, says, I think the Pacers are going to show up today. And then he says, hopefully. They'll show up, and I think it'll be close. But I think somewhere around the late in the third or that fourth quarter, it's going to be a thunderstorm. And the Pacers are going to have to knock down their threes and those corner threes that the Thunder keep giving them. And I wish Mark Dagenhart would figure out a way to stop that. He wants to clog the paint so much. He leaves those threes open every time. And those corner threes, and they knocking them down a lot more than Minnesota did. Had Minnesota knocked those threes down, they'd probably be playing right now. But the Thunder are comfortable with giving them that, and they're still comfortable with giving it to the Pacers. If they can knock those shots down, they can weather that thunderstorm. But it's going to be a thunderstorm. Because OKC, that's just what they do. They're that good. And they are more talented. It's just that the Pacers are very talented too, and they're well coached, better than the Thunder. And they've been out coaching the Thunder. But I said before, good coaching can outweigh talent at times, but not all the time. It's still rare that it happens. Okay? So, yeah, I'm going with OKC tonight, y'all. I said I wouldn't be surprised if they won 3 straight and wrapped this thing up. I knew they needed to tie the series up at 2. I predicted that they would. They did. I predicted they win tonight, take the series lead. They haven't been up in this series either, so they definitely need this win if they're going to win the championship. And I think, though, it goes back to Indiana, and I think the Pacers win Game 6, and I think this thing is going 7, like I've said, for about a week now. It's going 7. I said OKC in 6, so I got to pick OKC tonight, and I got to pick them Wednesday night as well. But I really don't think they're going to win Game 6. And even if the Pacers win tonight, then OKC's going to win Game 6 on the road, I think, and they're going to go back to Game 7. I still think regardless of who wins tonight, we're going to be right back here in OKC for Game 7. On what, a Friday night or something? Saturday? No, it will probably be Friday. But I think it's going 7. But I like to be right, and OKC wins tonight, and they win Game 6. But I'm going OKC tonight. This will be the first time that the Pacers will lose consecutive games since early March. But it's the first time for everything, right? They've done it. They just hadn't did it in 3 months. But I think tonight, and I do think they're going to keep it close, but that big thunderstorm that you got to be wary of is coming somewhere around the 4th quarter. So give me OKC tonight. And SGA is going to have to be great. Now, if SGA isn't great, they're not winning. Because Jay Will is the only one who's really been helping him out offensively. He gave him 27 and 7 in Game 4. Dort is like, he plays good every other game. That's not good enough. And Chet Holmgren has to be better. Shout out to Siakam and Miles Turner and what they're doing in that front court. I said that that's where the Thunder were going to have problems at now before the series started. I like the matchup between Siakam and Turner over Holmgren and Hartenstein. And Hartenstein, he didn't even really get to see the floor much in the 4th quarter because they need another ball handler on the floor, and that's been Caruso. But Jay Will and Caruso, as long as they step up and help SGA out, the Thunder are going to win this game if SGA is great like he always is. Look for them to swarm and blitz him. You know, send a lot of pressure at him, double him, swarm him, make him get the ball out of his hands, and his teammates are going to have to make plays. And that's touch and go with OKC. But it's been like that all season long, but they still almost won 70 games. So, yeah, I would say that OKC wins tonight. SGA still has to score 30+. But I've had everybody on here tell me he's going to do that every game, and he's done it pretty much, except for the one they lost. One of the games they lost, Game 3, I think he only had like 25, and that was a bad day. But he still could get close to 30 on a bad night because I know they blow the whistle a lot, but there's times where he gets down to this spot, and he gets that shot on great defense without pushing off or anything, too. Sometimes he does it, sometimes he doesn't. But we got to give him his credit. He's an MVP for a reason. And, yeah. Give me the Thunder tonight. That's just my take. Give me the Thunder tonight. Let's see what everybody else says. I'm sure y'all disagree with me, right? I think the Grizzlies will be trading Ja or Triple J and hit a full rebuild. No, they're not doing that. If they're going to do that, they're lying then. They came out and told the public they're not trading Triple J or Ja. So I'm going on the limb to say they did all of this yesterday to acquire another big fish, and they can have a possible big 3. And if they don't, they're comfortable with the roster they have now, and they're a little bit deeper. And they got picks to play around with up until the trade deadline next February. So they in good hands. I really do. And I'm not opposed to them trading Ja and Triple J, Lester. I'm not opposed to it at all. Blow it up. Like the Phoenix Suns need to be blowing it up. Why is Bradley Beal? Well, Bradley Beal can't get traded because of his contract. But Devin Booker, man, he'll be on the first thing smoking too. You and KD, get the hell on. We got to rebuild this thing. I never thought that would work anyway. Never. That's why I get tired of talking about KD, because nowhere he goes, he's going to be successful unless it was that Warriors team. And that's in the past. The Warriors will never be the Warriors again. You know, not that good, and then can add him. I always hated KD for that. I'm sorry. I hate him for that. But he's a good guy, good player, loves basketball. He just wants to play ball. I get it, but he ain't going to lead the team to any championship. Has he ever done that? No. He's just a great scorer, just like Melo. But he makes nobody around him better. Okay. But yeah, good comment, Lester. 4 first-rounders for Bane is insane. Grizzlies robbed Orlando, says Kate. Marquise, yeah, man, I agree, kinda. But it still worked out in Orlando's favor, too. They needed another guy on the wing that can score, and they bring in somebody now that's averaging 20, opposed to KCP, who was only averaging 9. So that's an upgrade for them. And he plays some defense. Desmond Bane is a two-way player, believe it or not. He is. He's just not a top 5 two-way player. So I think it worked out for both of them. They overpaid, but again, other teams were calling on the phone with the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies were making this trade regardless, it seems. They went with the higher bidder, though, and that was Orlando. What's up to Ricky, who just joined me? Thank you. Now let me get back over here to Dunlap. And Donnie and them over here on YouTube just wanted to pop in. I read that already. I think the Pacers are going to show up today. Pacers are going to bring the Thunder to OKC Thunder. They're going to bring the Thunder to OKC Thunder. I hear you, Dunlap. I hope that the Pacers win this series. I can tell. Donnie says, sorry, I'm back. I gave up on the finals. I don't know who's going to win. You said Indiana was going to win, Donnie, so you gotta stand on that. I gave up on the finals. I have a feeling KD going to go to the Spurs, says Donnie. I'm not opposed to that. I would like that. My brother's a Spurs fan, so that would be great to have KD and Wemby over there spreading the floor. Yo, Bane looks like a middle linebacker playing a shooting guard. That's what everybody says here in Memphis. You got to work out like that, though, for the streets of Memphis, man. Nah, man. That's why he won the trade, because he got the hell out of here. He's going to Florida. Not that Orlando is safe either. There's crime everywhere. But, yeah, a lot of places just, unless we talking St. Louis, Baltimore, Detroit, ain't too many of them worse than Memphis. So I think he's glad to get out of that part. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we do. I'm interested to see, because I think that move was for a reason. They done that for a reason. I think we're going to find out. Donnie also said, okay, no, that's it. All right, so, yeah, give me the Thunder tonight, y'all. I know y'all got the Pacers. A lot of y'all rocking with the Pacers still, and I like that. I like the Pacers, too. And I said, I'm the main one who said, let's not be disrespectful, y'all. All this sweep stuff. Ain't going to be no sweep. Ain't going to be no 5-game series, even though I could see that happening. But, man, the Pacers do what the Pacers do. And if they can weather this storm tonight, they definitely can pull it off tonight and steal one. Because they got to steal another one like they did game 1. To win this series, they have to steal another one on the road. I just don't necessarily think they're going to do that tonight. Cuzzo, how was your Father's Day? It was good, man. Thank you. How was yours? Hope all is well. Hope everybody had a great Father's Day. Tax-free there, too. In Florida? Yep. Amari, thank you for the comment. Who I got winning the finals? OKC in 7. Even though I predicted them to win in 6, that game 1 threw everything off them when the Pacers won game 1. But remember, the Denver Nuggets stole game 1 in OKC too, and they still lost it in 7. They pushed them closer than anybody else to the edge, and I didn't really see anybody else doing that, even though I knew the Pacers weren't going to lay down. But yeah, the Pacers are going to take them 7-2, I think. It just depends. We'll see. Game 6 is going to be very, very, very brutal. Very, very decisive. Because officially, that's when we're going to have the Pacers playing for their lives. So, yeah, we'll see. Okay, that's all I got. The Thunder are going to win the finals, I think, and I think they're going to win tonight. And I think that Memphis and Orlando kind of won the trade, but we definitely won because we've got options now. We can sit on those picks. We can use those picks and get more depth and more talent, and maybe we would be rebuilding then, depending on who those players are. Or we could swap all of that, give it to someone else, and go all out and get another one, have a big 3, and then if that doesn't work, we bust it up like Phoenix and some of these other teams that have tried, and it hadn't worked. The Clippers. So, yeah. That's all I got, man. Was there something else I wanted to talk about? I talked about Caitlin Clark. She's back. Scored 32. Great game for her as they are the first team to knock out the undefeated Liberty. And a great weekend also for Angel Reese. She got her first triple-double. So it was a great weekend for both women in the WNBA. And everybody's watching because of those two. Mainly Caitlin Clark, but that's the drama that goes on between those two women. Everybody's watching. So that's cool. Donnie, my fault, man. I'm forgetful, man. When I get done with this, I go do 100 other things. But I got you. I got you, Donnie. I got you, brother. He talking about that friend request. TikTok. Yeah, that's it. Okay. There was something else I wanted to say. But I wanted to shift it to football. I've said enough about basketball. Oh, um, there's a lot of lists coming out now saying that Patrick Mahomes is not the best quarterback anymore. The Kansas City Chiefs are not the best team anymore in the AFC West. What do y'all think about some of these polls that I've been seeing in the mainstream media? You know, Worthy is very fast, and I think he will progress in his second year in KC. Rashid Rice is coming back, and he's explosive. And we also got, what's his name? Hollywood Brown coming back for KC. And I believe it was Rashid Rice who said we're going to be explosive this year. Very explosive. I find it, it's hard for me to disagree with him because I've seen the Kansas City Chiefs beat up on teams and they were banged up, injured, and not even healthy. And they still beat the Buffalo Bills. They still beat the Baltimore Ravens or whoever it was they beat in the playoffs. They still beat the teams that you have to get through to get to the Super Bowl. They still didn't knock the Chiefs off. The only team that did it was the Eagles. And they had a shitload of talent to do it. So I'm just saying, if the Chiefs can beat up on teams and they're not even 100%, how am I to believe that they're still not going to continue to do the same when these players are coming back healthy? They've addressed the offensive line a little bit. They overpaid one of the guys, I ain't going to lie. The left tackle they got, Jalen Moore, out of San Francisco, he all right, but they overpaid. He was our backup. He's the swing tackle for when Trent Williams can't play. We saw him a little bit last year. I guess he got his stock up a little bit when he had to fill in for Big Suge Knight. Trent Williams. But, yeah, I don't know. I just thought I would just say that. The Chiefs are still going to be the Chiefs, I believe. Until somebody shows me otherwise, I still ain't betting against them until we get to the Super Bowl and I see who they're playing. I still think that they got that matchup. What do y'all think? Do y'all think this is finally the year the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen get to the Super Bowl? Do you think this is finally the year that Lamar Jackson and the Ravens get to the Super Bowl? Probably not. Until one of them do it, I got to keep riding with the Chiefs. I'm sorry. I do think the Denver Broncos are going to be a real close number 2 in the AFC West. If Dre Greenlaw can get back healthy and play this year, if Hufanga can stay on the field, which I doubt, they still had a good defense before they added my former 49ers to their roster. No hate. How you a 49ers and a Grizzlies fan? I'm in Memphis, born and raised, or North Mississippi, that is, and I just ride with them because I don't have an NBA team. I've never had a true NBA team because I don't even like basketball like that, guys. I really don't. Michael Jordan was my GOAT. That brother right there, that's my GOAT. Ain't nobody changing this shit, and I ain't here to debate it with nobody either. So I thought I was a Bulls fan until Jordan retired, and then I stopped watching the Bulls, and I'm like, damn, I watched Scottie Pippen in Portland, and then he left and I hung it up. And then I hated on Kobe and Shaq for a couple years because I saw how good they were, but I was like, man, he ain't doing nothing but just taking advice from Jordan, leaning in on Jordan. I thought it would have took Kobe a lot longer to develop if Jordan didn't help him out with his development. You know, when Penny came in the league, Penny was already Penny. It took a few years for Kobe to be Kobe. He wasn't the Black Mamba coming into the league. But he did skip college and stuff, though. So, you know, I was hating on them at first because I was like, damn, man. So they just gonna just win championships 3 straight and all that, 3-peat like it ain't nothing. I wanted my team, the Bulls, Jordan, to be the only team that done that in recent years. So I ain't have a basketball team. That's all. I used to rock with LeBron for a while until LeBron started getting on my nerves and pissing me off and flexing all the time and talking about he got ice in his veins, but he ain't never got ice in his veins in the 4th quarter. I'm like, dude. And he said he was chasing the GOAT, or he was the GOAT, after he beat Golden State. And that's when I jumped off the wagon. But Zebo, Marc Gasol, Mike Conley, Rudy Gay, man, I met all these dudes, or most of them, man. Memphis, man. That's it. The 49ers, we didn't have a football team. There was no Tennessee Titans when I was growing up as a kid. So, yeah, I'm just looking at football, and I'm like, I almost picked the Cincinnati Bengals because I love their helmets. Their uniforms. And the first football game I ever watched, they were playing Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and the 49ers. And my uncle, God rest his soul, said, you need to watch this Jerry Rice dude. He's from Mississippi. You know, just a couple of hours down the road from us. I said, really? And he was like, this Joe Montana dude, he bad. I know they losing right now, but watch him still win. I'm like, how you know all of this? And, you know, he had been watching Joe Montana for years. And we won that Super Bowl and beat the Bengals. And I said, That's my team. I was a youngster now. I didn't know shit about football, but I knew enough to say this game looks kind of fun, and I liked it. That Rice is from Mississippi, and Joe Montana was winning, and they were winning. It's easy to pick a team that was winning, and so that's what it is, bro. Hope I explained that pretty good to you. Memphis Grizzlies is just it's the home, represent home, and the Niners, I ain't never leaving them. I'm red and gold till I'm dead and cold. And I don't even go to the Bay Area that much, but man, that's been my team since forever. Since '88. So anyway, yeah, I hope that answered your question. Thank you for the comment, for the question. Jacob in the building saying fly, Eagles fly. Mason said Zebo was that man for real. He sure was, in more ways than one. If you know what I know, Zebo was not a joke here in Memphis. And he still got a clout here in Memphis. But good question, Mason. Luca. What does that say? Luca area. What do you mean, Mason? Zebo was that man. Fly, Eagles, fly. Poor McCaffrey. I know, right? He's got Kyle Shanahan as a head coach. Nah, that's valid. Just was confused. Okay, it's all good, man. It's all good. Look, everybody around here are Cowboys, 49ers, or Steelers, because when we were coming up, like I said, there were no NFL team here. The Titans didn't get here till 98. 97, 98. And then the 1 year we had them in Memphis didn't want to participate and support the team, and they had to go to Nashville. And then the rest is history. They're the Tennessee Titans, who my brother is a fan of. But he was rocking with them when they were the Houston Oilers. So, yeah, there was no football team. So all people knew in Mississippi, in the Memphis area, was the Dallas Cowboys, and they were on TV every Sunday. Or the Steelers or the Niners. The big three. I went one way, everybody else went another way, and that's it. That's what is around here mostly. And then when it comes to NBA, they either rep the home team like I do, or they already were Laker fans or Celtic fans, because there were no NBA teams here either. So that's it. We're in a small market and we ain't have nothing. Nothing. But the Memphis Redbirds. And nobody even knows what that is. It's a baseball team, but it's not MLB. So, yeah. Donnie said, I got off this for a minute because of work, but should the Grizz go for Westbrook? No, not really. We got Scottie Pippen Jr. We got Jalen Wells Jr. A lot of juniors we got, ain't it? And we still got Ja. And y'all, I'm telling you, Ja ain't going nowhere. He's not. Y'all trying to move him, but I know why. Because Memphis is not important to you all, and it's not exciting. You could care less about Memphis. The league could care less about the Memphis Grizzlies. So that's why they want one or both of those stars, Ja and Triple J, to get moved somewhere else where, it's brighter lights, bigger city, and they get more exposure. And I understand that, but, hey, man, we ain't trading them. That's just it. Let's see here. Penny versus T-Mac. Who you got? Who you got your money on? Woo, that's a tough one. Damn. Well, I guess we're talking about both of them before their injury started to put a damper on their careers. Much as I like Penny because he's from right here in Memphis, and I just told you how Penny was Penny as soon as he came to the league. It took Kobe a little minute. But I got to go with T-Mac, man, because he was one of my favorites. And a few years ago here on this podcast, when I had my other two guys here debating with me a lot more often, one of them used to say I said the most unhinged things on the show. I am the one who said that Tracy McGrady was better than Kobe Bryant when he wore the number 8 on his jersey. It was until Kobe went to 24 when he became the Black Mamba. And then Mamba mentality really just showed, seeped out like, okay, all right, yep, that's Baby Goat. I ain't gonna call him the GOAT, but that's Baby Goat. I used to hate on him because I thought that he thought he was better than what he really was at one point. I'm okay with you being arrogant, but don't be arrogant and you're not as good as you think you are. Then he became to be as good as he thought he was, and it was a wrap. But yeah, before he went to number 24, I think T-Mac was better. So I definitely have to say he's better than Penny. But just by a smidge. Just by a smidge. Okay. Good question, though, Donnie. Good question. He says, Raider Drock said, watch out for the Lakers. Why? Why? What the Lakers doing? You think Mark Jackson gonna get the job for the Knicks? Nope. Do you watch the Big Three League? No. But I did see, and I'm a huge fan of Cube. I need to do better. But I did see the fight, or whatever you want to call it, scuffle between Dwight Howard and Lance Stevenson. I did catch that on audio, on a video or whatever. I saw that footage, but yeah, no, I don't watch the Big Three. I should though, and no, I don't think Mark Jackson's ever going to coach again in the NBA. I don't know why, but it seems like he got blackballed. Pretty damn rough, pretty tough. Tim Duncan better than Kobe, says Mason. Ooh. Now, you sound like my co-host, Terrence. He said that many a times before. Tim Duncan is one of the most underrated players of all time. He really is. One of the better bigs that I've ever seen in my life. Most fundamental. He just was a boring, good superstar. You know, if that makes sense. Just boring, though, but he was good. But I don't know if I'd say he was better than Kobe. And they play different positions, so I'm not sure. If whoever got the MVP or whoever didn't get the MVP, I say you give it to the other at that time in their era. As kids, we all dropped our siblings with wrestling moves. Yeah, that's true. That Batman said, hey, man, that's how I know the figure four really hurts. Because I used to do that all the time when we were kids playing around. I think everyone is sleeping on the Lakers, says Raider Drac. Well, we know Raider Drac is a Laker fan, right? What are the Lakers going to do? What are we sleeping on? I don't know. What? Tell me why we're sleeping on them. What are the Lakers going to do? They need a big. We know that. And we know they're going to try to get him. We see Luka working out and training and stuff. All that. That's good. That's fine and dandy. But, again, LeBron will be entering, what, his 22nd season? He'll be 41. How can Luka continue his offseason program and training where he's going to be in championship shape, as J.J. Redick said, their head coach? I don't know. We'll see. It's all depending on if you trust him or not. If you trust Luka to do what Luka is supposed to do. I don't know why he wouldn't be in next to LeBron, but yeah, I don't know. Will Austin Reeves be there? Will they move him? They got to give up something to get that big now. So, I don't know. A lot of people saying Beasley is one of the best on the one-on-one player, Michael Beasley. Talking about Big Three, Donnie? One-on-one player? Where's Michael Beasley at? I'm lost there. Raider Drock says, I think we should rebuild, to be honest. Trade AR, trade. Okay, Austin Reeves or LeBron. Yeah, I think you need to trade LeBron. But we know that ain't going to happen. And that's why I think y'all are doomed. Sorry. But LeBron ain't going nowhere. He's going to retire there. He's there for a lot of other reasons. And basketball ain't one of them. And that's where I kind of jump off the wagon with him a little bit. I like him. I respect him. Great career, great legacy. Him and his son. I like all of that good stuff. But, again, I didn't like that stuff he did to Stephen A. I ain't like all of that. You know, so he rubbed me the wrong way last season, for real. I don't hope the Lakers win anything with LeBron. I hope he doesn't win another championship. I'm just going to be honest with you. Everybody calling him the GOAT and shit. And I'm getting tired of hearing it. Like, damn. I'm tired of hearing it. Let's see here. But, yeah, I think you should rebuild, though, Raider. I really do. I really do. So, you stayed with the Raiders when they went to Las Vegas? Well, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Chef said, you from Memphis? I am. Chef Momo. Okay. Yes, I am, man. Mason said, he's talking to that Batman. I think it's a generation thing. LeBron is my GOAT, but I can't hate the take. Okay, I got you, Mason. You have every right to think LeBron is your GOAT. He's the all-time NBA scorer. No doubt about it. We've never seen anyone play this phenomenal, this athletic, and can still get up in the air and do the things that he can do at his age. My son now calls him the GOAT because of that. And he used to hate LeBron James. Hate him. Like, Kobe was his GOAT. And now that he's looking at LeBron as a Laker, I guess he's still a Laker too, he's like, man, like, even Kobe wasn't like this in his 20th season. LeBron ain't tore his Achilles. LeBron ain't tore his rotator cuff. Those were injuries that Kobe sustained later in his career. But it's okay to call LeBron your GOAT. I ain't tripping. I'm just saying I'm tired of hearing it. Because nobody has a great explanation other than he's been stat stuffing for 20 years. All he has to do is average 28, 8, and 7 like he's done, and we knew that it would come. Skip Bayless said this 15 years ago. that he possibly could do that, and he was still calling him LeBrick James then. Shout out to LeBron, though, man. He learned the three-point shot, and boy, it's worked miracles for him. It's added another 5 years to his career. But for people to say that Jordan's not the GOAT because he played no competition, LeBron went to the finals I don't know how many times in the Eastern Conference playing no competition. That didn't matter as much, though, because he still would get his ass whooped when he played the team in the finals. But anyway, good take, though, brother. I ain't mad at you for saying LeBron's the GOAT. It is what it is. I know this is what most of this generation thinks. There's two people you can't talk bad about these days. LeBron James, Beyonce, and Jay-Z. The three. You can't say anything bad about them. Some people on the internet really get crazy over that shit. So I ain't trying to get, in no trouble with y'all. Don't shoot. Will in the building said, Will Frazier says, hold on, hated Bron when he went to the Heat. You and me both. That's the reason why he ain't the GOAT. My top favorite players of all time are Kobe, Michael, and LeBron. That's a good list. It's a damn good three. And in that particular order, it's probably where I would go with it too. See, I keep it real. I would be a fool to say LeBron's not top five. He's number three. Some would say number two. But I got to put him behind Kobe. Will said, we'll never fathom while the league promotes Jordan as the GOAT over LeBron. LeBron's a way better person. But what does being a person have to do with the player? Huh, Will? We know Jordan's an asshole. Everybody knows that, I think, now. And I ain't got to deal with him. LeBron's a good person, so I ain't got to deal with him either. I won't be around him ever probably in life, so that don't really matter to me. And how do we know LeBron's such a good person? We don't necessarily know that. We just know that he's probably a better guy than Jordan. That's what I would say to that. But that has nothing to do with what they did on the court. Tyrese is better than LeBron, in my opinion, says that man, Batman. Tyrese who? Maxey? Oh, Halliburton. Wow. Zeus is in the building saying Seahawks winning the NFC West this year. Big trust. Yeah, I disagree with that. Toronto just traded for Durant. What the fuck? Man, stop playing. I just said that Toronto was in the sweepstakes. Fruit OP said that. Is that real? Jordan was my GOAT until LeBron broke all the time scoring. See, that can't be the only reason why you say it, though, can it? He still lost a lot of finals. But it's good point. Born MJ at 13, Kareem, Kobe, and Tim at 4 and 5. That's a hell of a roster. Lineup. I'm just saying it has nothing to do with the player, but in terms of making the NBA look good, it's LeBron. I got you. Jordan made the league look good too, though. LeBron to GOAT. Thank you, minimum. Giannis to the Heat. We'll see. But has KD got traded to the Raptors? Or is this Fruto Peace guy just fucking with us? Hold on, I gotta read this one right here. Donnie said I have to get back to work. Take care, cuzzo. Pacers in 7. Thank you, Donnie. I'm going with the Thunder again still. I'm glad you doubled down on that, though, because you started saying you don't know who's going to win now. You got to stick with the Pacers. Raiders said LeBron was at those Diddy parties. He's not a good person. He was at those Diddy's parties, and he was the first to say ain't no party like a bad boy party. He said that, and he had a big, great smile on his face when he said it. Now, I ain't saying that makes him a bad person, but some bad things, well, depending on who you asking, if it was good or bad, happened at those parties. All right? So, good comment, Raider. Thunder in 7 says Elijah Brick. I agree. But I need him to win in 6 because that was my prediction. All right, y'all, that's it. I ain't got nothing else. My time is about up. I got some bills to pay. And I'm going to skate on. But I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I hope everybody liked the video and hit the like button. I hope I got more followers from TikTok, please. If you like what you saw, you like the content, hit the follow button. You know, it helps us out with the algorithm too, and we can pop up a lot more if you hit the follow button, if you like and drop comments here on the Great Debate Show YouTube channel. If you're not following me on YouTube, please do. Same thing on YouTube. Follow me on TikTok if you're not. And I'm about to start doing this thing on Instagram and X as well. I was told that I'm missing out on a lot of more people that I could be engaging with. We'll see. We will see. But y'all are doing a good job on TikTok. I get a lot of more people in and out of here. My thing is I just need to figure out what can I do to make them stay. Because I have about 200 or 300 people in here, but they don't stay. So I only keep like 5 or 6 of you at a time. 4 right now. So we'll see. What do y'all want me to debate about? The NBA Finals is almost over. What are we going to debate about for the month of July with no NBA and no NFL yet? I'm definitely going to get ready to break down the top teams in the divisions. I'll break down the divisions and everything as we get closer to training camp, but that's still over a month away. So, yeah, mini camp. I'll talk more about that, how everything looked, certain players. I talked about the Kansas City Chiefs. People are kind of starting to think that they're on their way down. We'll see about that. And that's I think that's it. Caitlin Clark again returned over the weekend, 32 points, back like she never left. Angel Reese got her first triple-double. It was a great weekend for the WNBA. And the ratings all the way back up like this. Now that Caitlin Clark is back. Okay. Nick Ramsey said ice. I don't want to talk about that right now. All right, man. This is it. That's all I got. Thank y'all for joining me again. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll be back again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. On YouTube, on TikTok Live. This is the Great Debate Show. Thank you. Until we yeet again, me and Terrence will be back tonight to recap Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And, of course, talk about Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Give me OKC. All right, I'm out. Y'all be safe. And the way the Pacers win is if they can just blitz and swarm SGA and try to take him out of the game. They haven't really done that completely. But even if they do, Caruso can still have a good game. Yep. All right, so that's it for real. I'm done this time. Until we eat again, y'all be safe out there. Have a magnificent Monday. Peace. Thank y'all. I appreciate you. 901, Jay Norris. What's up, 901? Follow, man. Follow me. Thank y'all.